Alright, so I didn't realize me curling this would give it a more blown out look, but I will say the hair is even softer now and the curls are like really big. But hey guys, what's up? I'm back with a new video. I wanted to do a makeup look for today, including just me doing my hair and stuff, which I kind of already did. This is how everything looks. More of everything. I don't mind the frizziness either. I kind of like that blown out look for me. I think it just makes my hair look nice and big, and it almost gives me that relaxed hair type of look. So hot in here, but anyways, yeah, they sent me this deep curly unit, so I wanted to go ahead and review it for you guys today. But right now, before going into the specs of this hair, I want to do my makeup and just talk about a few things. And I've had people messaging me, and it's just a lot to take in, and I'm just kind of, I'm partly annoyed and I'm partly just, I'm over it, honestly, but at the same time, I just feel really bad for the people that are involved and just for everything that's been happening recently. And this is more of a general thing. This is not one situation that I'm going to be speaking on. They kind of just all tie in together from what's been happening as of recently. So I thought, why not speak on it, because I have nothing else to do at this point. I've definitely talked about this before in my channel, but I don't think I've gotten into that much detail. I wrote down a few notes. I think first, I want to talk about Black girls, Black women, and femininity, and also just us being not deemed as dainty or cute in society. And this is, I mean, this is a universal thing. This has nothing to do with just America. This is a worldwide issue when it comes to Black women or just any Black person that has feminine qualities in general. It's like, those go so unnoticed that it's not even funny. I've been doing a lot of makeup looks on my channel over the past few years, very alternative looks that a lot of Black girls don't usually wear. I mean, I think as of now, as of 2020, now a lot more Black girls do have this aesthetic, but I know that a lot of it isn't being pushed, and I've definitely talked about that on my channel before, whereas if you search like art ho or even the newest trend, which is cottagecore makeup and look, I feel like I've only seen like one or two Black girls on, you know, YouTube's feed of them doing that look. So it's like, okay, like when I search these terms, it only shows up of like either non-people or non-Black people of color or just white people having this certain aesthetic, and it's like we're not really being pushed. We're just kind of put into this one category, and I've talked about that on my channel before. Also, shortly after I filmed this video, I did see on Twitter that one of my friends posted that there is a class action lawsuit happening against YouTube because Black creators aren't being pushed enough in the algorithm. And this just proves my point, because when I'm talking about, you know, creators that are Black creators that want to do alternative looks on here, or they want to do alternative content that the mainstream doesn't really do, it's really, really hard to find on this platform. And I think that has a lot to do with who YouTube is choosing to push. So that's what I think. It's not anything new that I've spoken about before. I'm gonna go in with my Professional primer, as well as the No Pore Blend primer from Touch in Sol. I'm gonna use this one first and then put on my powder and then go on with the foundation. A lot's been going on. I think either last week or the week before, there were several instances where Black women were treated very roughly by, I mean, more specifically by Black men. Also, obviously, police, this has been a thing, but more specifically by Black men. One was being thrown into the dumpster. Something else happened as well. Another Black woman got killed during a protest. This guy lured her into his home for protection and then ended up unfortunately murdering her. And that's really, really sad, because we're just seen as not valuable. We're not seen as, or people that need protection, when we definitely are. We're just seen as women that can handle a lot. I just wasted a bunch of primer, but I have another bottle. I know, like, there was a company once that I was working with, and this was like definitely a Chinese company. I think I had my glasses on and I had my natural hair, and they literally used the words rough to describe how I looked in that video. I immediately told them that that was very inappropriate, and they apologized, but the fact that they had even said that in the first place reinforced the fact that that's how people feel about Black women as a whole. And it just really sucks to have to constantly have that label. And I might, you know, use this as a segue as far as Black women that also travel. This is not only a US issue, this is a world issue, and no matter where you travel, you're going to kind of have that same stigma. And it's really unfortunate because if you happen to get into trouble, that can get in the way of you being protected, being saved. Like if I'm traveling somewhere, I have to take extra precaution, but I always have to think about like, okay, how can I prevent this from happening? How can I, you know, whereas like my white counterparts don't really have to worry about being sexually harassed as much. I'm saying women around the world deal with sexual harassment all the time. It doesn't matter what color you are or who you are, but specifically with Black women, I think that we are seen more as sexual objects. It is the worst with us. I'm using the Tarte foundation, by the way. I guess I'm gonna talk about a couple of my experiences as far as traveling to different countries. I've only been to, so far, I've only been to the Ivory Coast. When I was like really young. I've been to Liberia, I've been to Japan, I've been to South Korea, and I've had a few experiences that I haven't really talked about on my channel before, but they're not really, you know, big stories that I had to make a whole video about. Even just my experiences of living here in LA and dealing with this issue, it's just a thing where, you know, you just deal with it. Depends on where you're going, depends on if you're going to a club or if you're just out somewhere that's like during the day. It's all different. You're gonna get different scenarios at different times of the day or different places. It takes away a lot of opportunities that we get for like maybe entertainment jobs when you're traveling abroad or anything even here in LA. Like if they want to cast you for something, they're probably not going to cast a Black girl for an innocent role. I want to see more diversity in that way. Like I feel like people fail to see that there's all different types of personalities in everyone, and but specifically Black women, again, we're put into this one category. And it's also very dangerous for us because we get put into situations that we don't want to be in, and people just assume that we have a certain type of personality and they want us to kind of fit that, and it just doesn't end up working out. They just have this idea that people fetishize about, and it just doesn't come true a lot of the time. I'm probably just rambling over here, you guys. I think this kind of leads me into talking about what's been happening, or I guess there's been an issue recently. I had a subscriber reach out to me through Instagram, and they were showing me the post about this Korean rap group or something. I don't really follow K-pop that much anymore, you guys. I think the most that I keep up with is like Blackpink and BTS and stuff. Like I'm not really a huge K-pop person anymore. I think you guys have known that for a while, but I have dabbled in it before, which is why I'm sure that subscriber had reached out to me and sent me that video or sent me that page of what was happening to these girls. So I get it. And you know, I definitely still get my inspiration from like a lot of K-beauty stuff and all that, like clearly, right? So I think what got me into distancing myself from that was just the fact that I felt like our culture was really being appropriated in a way that wasn't okay. And I don't mind some of it, but other times I feel like it gets to the point where they just really don't appreciate us, but they appreciate our culture. I guess I'll just use this powder. I was watching a few videos today too, and I think a lot of people made some really good points as to on how we react to stuff like that. I think everyone is different. No one's going to react to it the same. But in this case, going back to this Korean rap group, I think they're called like One Nation or something. I initially was not even going to speak about this because I'm not really into that whole scene anymore as much, because it does concern Black girls, Black women. I felt obviously, okay, I can relate to that obviously, so why not speak about it? And I'm sure that my other friends who, you know, are into K-beauty or into K-pop, who do YouTube, I'm sure they're going to talk about it as well. I'm sure that they've been approached by subscribers and all that stuff to speak on this. It's very unfortunate. There's been people that have already talked about this. There's several YouTubers, I'm going to list them below as well and on the screen, who've already mentioned what's been happening, and they have a bunch of footage, they have screenshots, but this is not going to be a video about that. I just wanted to briefly talk about this and give some awareness to what is happening. But there have been Black women and Black girls, mostly Black girls, that have been targeted by this group of boys. Some of them are men. I mean, in theory, they're like 30 years old hitting on 13 to 17-year-olds. And it's like the way that they talk about Black women, it's really, really disgusting. Y'all, like, it's a lot of stuff that's been coming up about this group. And this is where the issue with loving yourself comes from. It's like, these people might love our culture and vice versa. You might love their culture and stuff, but they're very ill-intentioned people at this point. Like, I'm gonna redirect you guys to other videos that I've seen for the day. I'm just kind of reiterating what's been happening or what I've been seeing on social media. This is still an ongoing thing, and apparently this has been ongoing for years now, but it's just now coming out. Like, it's crazy to me. You know, there are people out there that have been letting this happen. I feel like 2020 is the year of reveal, exposing stuff, and I really hope that this continues because it's really disgusting for this to keep happening and no one's saying anything. Like, there's even some Black women that are still friends with these people that are abusing these young girls. It's really gross. And I don't really talk about stuff like this on my channel as much because I just haven't. I've had my share of experiences with guys being really touchy-feely, being really gross, and not even just in the States, in other countries and everything. And it's been weird. We're not allowed to be shy. Even if we naturally are, it's like they expect us not to be, or we're not allowed to be as girly. It's always about that one category that we have to fit in, or else it's weird. I feel like I haven't really talked about this very much, but I didn't want to have curves as much back when I was younger, or like even in college. I was like really disgusted by how I looked because of how guys would view that. It's definitely a size issue where people, obviously, they automatically think that the bigger that you are, the more over-sexualized that you are. But I think that people put the two together when it comes to being Black and also having curves. It's like they put it together and then you become this object. Or even if you don't have curves, you're still sexualized as a Black woman. So I don't think that has anything to do with just being bigger or just having more curves. I think that has to do with both. Yeah, I can't even tell you guys how many times people have assumed that I would be a certain way when I'm actually not, by the way that I look. And I can't stress enough that I am the most awkward, I am the most quiet sometimes person. Like, I'm a terrible dancer, like, and like people assume different just because of how I look, because they have this stereotype in their head that I'm going to be a different way. It does put people like us in danger a lot of the time because they assume one thing and they have this fantasy in their head that we're gonna be this one way and we're just not. I've seen people get disappointed because they were expecting something from me, or other people that I've seen, you know, they go through the same thing, and it's just really, really tiring to constantly have to go through. For women that are traveling and you're Black, just be careful, because a lot of what's happened in the past with us being enslaved, obviously it's a part of the system, and you just need to know that people are programmed to think this way about us, and it doesn't matter how you dress or how much you try to change it or what your personality is, they're always going to feel the same until they get to know you, or if they even want to get to know you. It's literally the exact same everywhere that you go, and it's something that you can't really escape. And as someone that loves to travel myself, it's something that I've had to just, you know, not really accept, but just like be aware of. It's a lot to just know that people are able to protect other women, but they don't want to protect us. I just keep seeing more and more people every day go missing and stuff, and no one really cares, or no one's really pushing it enough. And it's just a part of this ugly cycle that just keeps going and going and going and going. I have a friend, her name is Darcy on YouTube, and she does a lot of Black girl tries videos, and a lot of the reason why we have to put Black girl tries is because the algorithm won't put us together with other people that are white or other people of color that aren't Black. We're at the bottom of the barrel with this. We're not really pushed to the top. YouTube, Instagram, a lot of these clothing websites, makeup brands, all this stuff, it's like they do it on purpose. And I know that a lot of people are saying, oh, it's not the algorithm, it's the people that make that choice, but I think it's both. I feel that with YouTube a lot. I know I have people asking me like, oh, why don't you have more subscribers and stuff? And a lot of it could just be me not having connected with my audience enough yet, and I understand that because I do have a hard time speaking. I don't have the best speech ever. I stutter a lot, and also it's really hard for me to express myself in words in general, and that has a lot to do with my anxiety, and I can't really help that. So I get that it's a lot harder for me to grow on this platform where you're supposed to be able to talk and connect with people. But for me, that's always been something that's really hard if I don't know a person very well. Yeah, if I'm not really close to people, which I feel like I am close to you guys, but I'm constantly feeling like I am growing and I'm opening up a lot more and more and more as I grow on this channel. So it's been a long road, a long hard road. It's just a lot of things I feel like that are against me. Like, if you don't have a huge personality sometimes on this platform, you're just not really seen. And for me, I don't have the biggest personality. Like, I do if I get to know you, but it really comes a lot later. I use the Huda Beauty palette for this. It's just a lot. It's just a lot. We're missing out on so many opportunities because of this stupid stigma, and it's just like, it's annoying as hell. Okay, I'm gonna do the freckles because that's like my signature. I try my best to like make sure that they fade out. Okay, so yeah, I told you guys the price. The hair feels really soft after I curled it, and I didn't put any hairspray. I kind of wanted to leave it with this blown out type of look. So yeah, I really do think this is really cute. I did bleach the knots on this unit. So this was the first unit that I've had during quarantine where I finally got to get to Sally's, get my supplies and everything, and actually do some work on the lace. So it does really match my scalp very well, or really nicely. I did the baby hairs and stuff, but as you can see, it really does fit. I barely see any black dots here, which is what I was looking for. The hair feels really soft. Some of the curly units that I've had recently have shedded so much, and this one doesn't have any shedding. I can just run my fingers through it and it's fine. I've already washed it one time. I had to bleach the knots for this hair, so I had to wash it. But it's done a really good job. I actually really do like this, and it gives me that kind of like relaxed, blown out type of look, which I'm a huge fan of. I like how too it's very natural looking as far as the lace goes. And yeah, I think that's it for this below for you guys to go ahead and check out. So please remember to, they also sent me some lashes, which I haven't worn yet, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna wear these because they look okay. I kind of like the ones that I'm wearing right now. And it also came in this little pink bag. But yeah, that is it for this video. I hope that you guys liked me talking about this unit and also me doing my makeup and everything. I really enjoyed doing this whole look. Let me know down below if you guys have any more comments to what I said in this video and what I talked about. I thought it was very important to speak on, so I just went ahead and did it. And I want to hear you guys' thoughts down below. Yeah, I will talk to you guys later. Have an awesome day. Stay safe. I'm gonna go take some pictures for my thumbnail before it gets dark, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.